MCL, the word in your home.
Good morning, Abia from MCL Television. Hi, I'm Cynthia Echene. I'm welcoming you aboard once again this breakfast program where we're really sorry about that technical hitch. Of course, you're welcome back. Welcome to One Stop Breakfast program. Good morning, Abia from MCL Television. This is our breakfast platform from where we get you in the know of the happenings around you. We usually begin with words and marble where we get you inspired and be ready for the day. After the words and marble, I'll be reading out the news, the Good Morning Abia package of the news, where you'll be letting into what's happening around the world as we begin with our own very state and spread out to other parts of the country. Also get your global news. After this, the reading out of the news, we'll go on a break and get back to begin our newspaper review, where we usually take a look at the papers to get you informed on what's making the rounds in the papers. All right, after that, we'll get you entertained and keep you company with a documentary. Usually a documentary is quite informative and educational at the same time. All right, after that we get back and begin our discussion segment. This morning we're going to be continuing with yesterday's discussion. Remember, yesterday we talked about the mass defection from APC to PDP. What are the implications? What do they signify? What do they really portend for these parties and to a cross-section of Nigerians at large? Of course, it's very interactive at that point in time. We usually have a number on the screen with which you out there can join us and tell us. Let's have your contributions. All right, let's step up with the first things first. Let's go to the marble. On the marble this morning, we are hearing from Bo Jackson. Set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. Set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. Bo Jackson. What are the goals you want to achieve in life? Set them very high. Set them as high as possible. Of course, the sky is not your limit. The sky should be the beginning, the starting point for you and I. The sky, beneath the sky, there are still more celestial bodies up there after the sky. Do not say that the sky is your limit. No, the sky is just your stepping point. And that applies to everyone. Whatever you want to achieve in life, you can soar higher from that very place. That point, you think that's the end. No, that's just the beginning for you. If only you believe and pray towards that. Remember what you said yesterday. Whatever you're going to do, do it with prayers. Even when you want to achieve an aim high, you can also achieve that with prayers. And don't just pray and sit down and expect the manners to fall from heaven. When you pray, work towards that. Pray without words. Yes, that's a biblical injunction. Remember that when you pray, also back it up with practical steps towards achieving that. And believe you me, in the end, you'll surely achieve your aims and your dreams and aspirations. And surely Abia State will surely get there. All right, that was that from the words and marble from Bo. Let's now get you in the know of the happenings around you from a Good Morning Abia package of the news. Abia State government has lamented that it has not benefited much from Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) and urged the commission to do more for the states. The government has therefore called for a synergy with Niger Delta Ministry to assist in the infrastructural development of the state. Abia State Commissioner for Works, Izucho Bani, who said this on the sideline of the ongoing Third National Council on Niger Delta being hosted by the state, regretted that Abia was not included in the amnesty program of the federal government for oil-bearing states. Ubani said that the state would table the issue before the council for stakeholders in the Niger Delta to look into. Ubani also lamented the poor quality of some of the projects done by the commission and said there ought to be needs assessment by the ministry and NDDC to ensure that any project done in the state is in line with the needs of the people. He said, we are all producing, we produce gas also, so environmental pollution affects us. We also need infrastructure which is driven by NDDC and Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, Obani explained. According to him, Abia is in dire need of infrastructural development, insisting that tackling the gully erosion sites in the state is beyond the resources of the state. The federal government has effected a change in its trade policy, switching from the regime of free on board FOB to cash insurance and freight CIF. Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council NSC, Barrister Hassan Bello, in an interview with a private television station, also said that the federal government has expanded the National Fleet Implementation Committee with the inclusion of the Federal Ministry of Finance, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, and the Nigerian Import and Export Bank, NEXIM, in what is believed to be government quest to have a guaranteed, timely and robust strategic recommendation to kickstart the new national career. The initiative, which is championed by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Transportation for closer to 2 years, has failed to materialize owing to what insiders term protracted conflict of interest, unavailable proposition templates, and weak steering team spirit, among others. The Minister of Transportation, Chukwuike Amechi, has said in Abuja that the problem was how to secure local funding for the project, having identified willing foreign investors with their counterpart funding in place. Amechi said Nigerian ship owners did not have required capital to meet their side of the financial obligation and were looking up to the banks to bail out. He, however, lamented that the Nigerian lending institutions were not willing to get involved. After months of consultations with critical stakeholders in Nigeria, as well as fellow members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has formally declared his intention for the 2019 presidential election under the People's Democratic Party, PDP. He made the declaration on Friday last week. MCL TV News sampled the opinion of Abia residents over the declaration. The reports.
On Friday, 20th July 2018, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar made a formal declaration to contest the 2019 presidential election under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Reactions, however, have continued to trail the declaration. While some are of the view that Atiku is the man for the job, others have different views.
Atiku is one of those that has the capacity and capability and the wherewithal to upturn the table against Buhari's APC. A lot of factors are playing for him. He has the resources, he has the structure, the political machinery. Like, we shouldn't forget about the PDM, which he and General Musa Yar'Adua founded and given pep by the late Chuba Kadibo.
Are there no young people in PDP? Recently, the federal government or the president of Nigeria signed not too young to run bill. Are there no youths in PDP? Are there no young ones in PDP, 30, 40, 45, 50 years. Donald Duke and all that. Other people, are they not in PDP? The Tambuwals of this world, Sarakis of this world, 50-something years, 20. Why must we recycle those old ones continuously?
When he was there, were we better? And when he was there, he was the second to Obasanjo. What drove him out from Obasanjo? He told us that he cannot do anything. He cannot even look at Obasanjo face to face because of what Obasanjo was, according to him. And Obasanjo said he was the, or rather he is, because Obasanjo still maintains that Atiku is the worst corrupt man in this country. And now he is going to Abeokuta to the same man that he doesn't want to see face to face to be his man Friday. Is this the kind of man that you can trust?
The former vice president under the former president Olusegun Obasanjo's administration said that his contesting for the presidential seat in Nigeria is in response to the yearning of the majority of Nigerians to enthrone a government that will reshape the political landscape of Nigeria by rebuilding the battered economy and create much-needed employment for Nigerians. Respondents speak further on the presidential candidature of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar.
There are young people, they used to come up. Even the ladies, you women, you think you cannot be president of Nigeria. You saw the president of Croatia, a woman. You women can come in and vie for the position of this of the presidency of this country. So the women have the numbers. Let them come together, irrespective of tribe, religion. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your ethnicity, where you come from. What I care is a leader that thinks about Nigeria first, before you start talking of where you come from.
Atiku may not be the best candidate, but as a matter of contingency or a kind of emergency, he can be called upon.
Certain Atiku, I think Nigerians should wake up from their slumber and know how much these people have taken us for a ride.
It will be recalled that the former vice president in 2011 defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to Action Congress of Nigeria Party, ACN. And in 2015, he contested for the presidency under the All Progressive Congress, APC, but lost in the primaries to President Muhammadu Buhari. What does the future hold for Nigeria, her polity, and its numerous presidential candidates from various political parties? Only time will tell. Ruth Ohams, MCL News.
There is no gainsaying that there have been heightened calls for the creation of community and state police in the country. To hear the calls, the bills for the creation of state police are not different now at different stages at the National Assembly. This is to address the numerous security challenges facing the country. However, respondents have expressed divergent views on the issue. Gloria Para tells us more.
Nigeria has in recent times more than ever faced a myriad of security challenges that, if unchecked, could jeopardize the nation's unity. These security challenges include the incessant killings by herdsmen in different parts of the country, the Boko Haram menace, armed banditry, kidnapping, and many more. Unfortunately, this security threat has persisted without solution from the nation's security agencies. It was therefore not surprising when different groups across the country started calling on the federal government for the decentralization of the nation's police to allow for effective policing. After a very long call, the National Assembly has taken the bull by the horn to consider bills to this effect. At the time of those reports, the bill for the establishment of state police and to ensure effective community policing in Nigeria has already passed its first reading at the Senate and has passed the second reading at the House of Representatives. It is against this backdrop that some Nigerians have expressed their varied opinions on the matter.
It is good to create them, hence they will work according to the direction of the Constitution based on the...
I think it may help, but it may not be the final solution to killing. What will bring final solution is killing is the mindset of people. If they know that human beings are creatures like themselves and resolve that they should not kill, with or without police, state policing, the killing will stop.
The state police will help because with the rate of the killings in the country now, more especially the northeast and all that is going on. But we are not praying that it will come down to our own side. Yeah, but we need security.
Will help to reduce the crime in various communities. If you know me as somebody who do steal, it will be easier for you to know if something like stealing happens at a place. I will locate you. I will come to your house and say that you are the one that did this. And you find it difficult to deny because you know that I know you very well.
Some, however, has expressed worry that the aim of the policy, if established and implemented without proper planning, could be defeated.
You depend on individual government. You know, politics. They may use them during elections. Even now, when there's no state policy, they hire police and police headquarters collect money from them and they assign police to them.
There is no doubt that Nigerian security architecture needs a reorganization if the incessant killings must stop. It is therefore hoped that when passed into law, the bill could be assented to by the President. Gloria Opara, MCO News.
Food is an essential need for human survival. Following frequent occurrence of chronic diseases associated with processed foods, medical experts have harped on the need to consume more of natural foods. Based on this backdrop, MCLTV News sampled the opinion of Abia residents on why they prefer local delicacies. Elizabeth Kalu tells us more on the story.
In the early 2000s, fast food joints were symbolic outlets of the elite class as they visit these joints with their loved ones to show their social class. Then, some notable fast food centers in Abia used to serve as a relaxation spot for friends, families, colleagues, and business associates. Dishes ranging from fried rice, fried chicken, small chops, and other continental foods were the delicacies of fast food joints. However, with warning from health experts globally that food prepared with preservatives are harmful to human health, and the need for people to eat local and natural food as they pose less danger to human body. A visit by MCN News to local canteens in Abia City reveals that local kitchens are witnessing huge patronage as people are beginning to heed to the advice of medical experts on the need to pay less emphasis on continental or processed food and consume more of local dishes. MCN News spoke to some consumers on what informed their choice of local delicacies.
They are more nutritious, they are more enriching, they are fresh, you know what you are eating. You know, some of those continental things, you don't know what they are mixing up for you. For me, I prefer to feed healthy. It's not just about eating, it's about eating what makes right sense.
I like coming here because the food is very nice and tasty. I ate Ozuza soup. You know, the Ozuza soup is very nice. So anybody that tastes the soup would like to taste it again.
I enjoyed the way the food is being cooked and the taste of it. I like eating it. I prefer it more than continental dishes.
I like the local delicacy because it gives you the feeling of real, natural African food, and also the real taste that you get when, in those days when our mother used to cook for us.
The food vendors also spoke to our correspondent on why they prefer cooking local dishes.
It's not all about Maggi. It's all about using a native way to prepare meal for people to enjoy. Whenever you enter here, we don't dish the soup immediately. We call it a la carte. We prepare it fresh, like okra soup, olubo, all these things we prepare fresh. So that whenever you are eating it, you have that taste that is being prepared the same time.
We try to please our customers. We listen to them, and we try to make good meals because we buy quality things to make our meals. The native food, especially the ones we prepare here, is because we don't use artificial things. ingredients or spices. Everything we use, we make sure we use natural things.
When you eat here, it will be like food that you prepare at home. In fact, we cook as we can eat. We cook as what that can satisfy us is what we like giving people, at least natural as it's.
If members of the society can go back to consumption of local delicacies, health experts says it will reduce illnesses associated with the consumption of food laced with preservatives and fried ones. Elizabeth Carlo, MCN News.
At least 215 people have died in a series of apparently coordinated attacks in southwestern Syria, local officials and a monitoring group say. Several suicide bombings struck in and around the government-held city of Suwaida, the main city in the province, on Wednesday. The Islamic State and the Islamic State group IS said it carried out the attacks. Pro-government forces were later reported to be engaged in gun battles with IS militants east of the city. The Syrian government, backed by Russia, recently launched a campaign to retake the remaining rebel-held areas across the south of the country. Wednesday's wave of attacks was the deadliest on government-held territory in months, correspondents say. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based monitoring group, reported a string of suicide blasts in Suwaida, south of the capital, Damascus, and in villages to the north and east. It said militants also stormed houses in the villages and killed the occupants. And that's the sound of Good Morning Abia package of the news. And with that, we'll take a break, and when we get back, to be time for us to take a look at the papers, and that is our newspaper review. Please don't go away.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
What is that noise?
He disobeys a quick.
What did they happen?
Yeah, now they're gonna go so.
Time to rebuild Abia. I urge you to set aside our differences so that together we can join hands and build the Abia of our dreams. Remember that my word is my bond.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
World and Heaven Options Limited. Presco is a home of the red image right here in Abia. Why go to Lagos or Port Harcourt for your direct image jobs? Come to Presco World and Heaven's Options, located at number 145 Azikiwe Road, Abia, for perfect cover page, journals, magazines, brochures, and flyers. We also offer printing services in digital flex and billboard, window graphics, posters, stickers, heat transfers, ID cards, complimentary cards, monogram, and car branding. Heaven Options offer you entertainment services like event management, ambulance services with well-dignified undertakers. We can also boast of 3 months ordinary program in computer training, 6 months certificate in computer training, and 1 year advanced certificate in computer training. Why not visit Presco and experience that quality jobs? For inquiries, call 080-33-22-6115, 070-40-24-7196, 070-84-69-8165.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
History is often told by the wrong people, by the educated, by the historians, by the newspaper and the evening news, in the slum and the poor neighborhoods all around the world. These stories, they almost always end as tragedies. In the spring of 2011, peaceful protests turned bloody across the Middle East. And Yemen, a poor and misunderstood country, made headlines. Our story does not make front page news. The dream of every kid who grows up in the ghetto is to live. But I think our dream is to change the slums. To know the history of hip-hop, you will find it here on the streets. You might call us orphans, drug addicts, and gangsters, but we are the real kings and queens of hip-hop. We have been told that the life of the street is all about survival, but we are doing more than just surviving. We speak many languages around the world, but for me, my real language, the language of my heart, is hip-hop.
We sell crack to our own out the back of our homes. We smell the musk of the dusk and the crack of the dawn. We go through episodes too, like Attack of the Clones. What till we break a back and you hear the crack of the bone. To get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. We commute to computer spirits, stay mute while your ego spread rumors. We survivalists turn to consumers. Just to get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. Asking why some people gotta live in a trailer, cause like a sailor, I paint a picture with a pen like Norman Mailer. Me and Wella raised 3 daughters all by herself with no help. I think about the struggle and I find the strength in myself. These words melt in my mouth, they hot like the jail cell in the south. Before my nigga Core bailed me out. To get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. We do or die like best stars, see the red sky out the window of the red eye, like the lead flies, G-rap shit, living the lead down. I woke up feeling brand new. I jumped up feeling my highs and my lows and my soul and my goals. Just to stop smoking and stop drinking. But I've been thinking I got my reasons just to get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. Just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. people you find. So the feeble in mind, stay reading the sign.
Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
You're very much welcome back. It's still your breakfast program, Good Morning Abia, from MCL Television, right here in Abia Commercial Nav Center. And this is our newspaper review segment where we take a look at the papers and find out what they have for all of us. As usual, we are going to be starting with the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun this morning, it promises a very interesting reading. From the top right-hand corner, Ngige Des Oshomole. I am not afraid of expulsion. Ngige Des Oshomole. I am not afraid of expulsion. That story can be continued and find out why Ngige is saying this. Go to page 11. Away from there, country headline says Buhari APC senators meet as more defections loom. Governor Autumn joins PDP, other governors, lawmakers to follow. Go to pages 39 and 6. Autumn joins PDP. All right, and just beneath there, lawyers sue President AGF over Executive Order 6. Lawyers sue President AGF over Executive Order 6. That story continues on page 11. And Cross River APC protests accuses Ayade of planning to join party. He is not defecting, says governor's aide. The governor's aide says he's not defecting. All right, that story can be continued on page 41. Of a robbery, I have answered all questions in my letter to police, says, says Saraki. I have answered all questions. I have answered all questions in my letter to the police, Saraki has said. Continue this story on Saraki and the police on page 39. And just by the side there, by the left-hand corner, firefighters and volunteers battling to put out the wildfire that is ravaging Kineta near Athens in Greece. This happened yesterday. 74 people, including children, have lost their lives in the inferno. All right, that's a picture element there, what it is talking about. The wildfire in Athens. All right, away from there we see Ekweremadu Ohaneze wants federal government. On Ekweremadu Ohaneze wants federal government. Go to page 40 and find out more on that. All right, let's go to the back page of the Daily Sun. On the back page is Newton Jibono, Nigeria, a fractured nation. Newton Jibono writes, Nigeria, a fractured nation. To find out why he's saying this, go to page 36 and find out more on this very column. Louis Obi, Nigeria's elusive press freedom. Nigeria's elusive press freedom. Continue that story on page 16. And we meet Amazobi after that, Amazobi's broken tongues. History on the rebound. Excuse me. History on the rebound. We see there the PDP chairman, Uche Secondus. All right, away from that, when we leave that, we meet Citizen Joe. Citizen Joe, Reverend Baka wants Buhari, senators, reps, others to seek God's forgiveness. They need dry fasting and prayer. That's a response coming from Citizen Joe. All right, that is all for the Daily Sun this morning, an interesting one. As we go to the next paper, which is The Nation, as we continue to pray fervently for Nigeria. On the top left, you see police, Saraki differ over invitation. Police, Saraki differ over invitation. Continue that story from page 7. All right. Pages 6 and 7. Autumn joins PDP with 10 lawmakers. Autumn joins PDP with 10 lawmakers. 10 lawmakers going with him. All right. Continue the story. Find out who and who on pages 6 and 7. It is followed by man kills man over breakfast in Anambra State. Trust echo, girlfriend welcome baby boy. All right, these stories you can capture on page 5 on man kills man over breakfast. Page 5, that happened in Anambra, and Trust echo, girlfriend welcome baby boy in page 47. All right, and away from there we meet Deputy Commissioner of Police, Oka Command Headquarters, DPC, Chris Owolabi, Head of Administration, DCP, Mike Okoli, Head of Operations, and CP, Mr. Garba Omar, showing arms recovered from suspects in newsmen. From suspect to newsmen at Command Headquarters and in Oka. And this took place on Tuesday. A very nice one. All right, when we leave that, we see a catchy headline that says calls for Saraki's expulsion as Buhari meets senators. They planned to impeach president. APC senators 53 as Tejo Show returns. All right, that's very interesting. I'll read out a little bit from this column which is already given us. It says, the only reason Saraki and Dogara have not left the APC is that they know that if they leave, they will lose their seats. But we will force them to leave. All right, that is that. Okay, let's meet the next, which is insurance firms get 15 billion recapitalization mandate. That is from Kari. You see the story to continue on page 6, but there is the photo element of Kari. And it's followed by DMO raises 66.9 billion naira at bond auction. Our story is on page 6. And the last on the front page here, we see IYC warns against subversion of democracy. Ayade, a committed PDP member. Right. These are more kept on pages 41 and 4. And with that, let's visit the back page. The back page of The Nation, we are meeting today in The Nation, and it's coming from Lawa Ogenagbo this morning. And he writes and says some of the defectors may have climbed the backs of others to get to power. But tell me, who is that politician that does not need a strong backer to grow? Right. It makes a lot of sense coming from Lawal Ogenagbo at the back page of The Nation as we meet Benga Omotosho, editorial notebook. And the editorial notebook column writes this morning on defectors at work. And we see the faces, two faces, Melaye and Somono. And I'll read a little bit of this column, and it says, Dino, Kamiko, and Shallow is not qualified to be described as a good striker. Neither is he a lethargic defender. He surely knows how to kick his matters opponents in the groin, raising his hands in the air to show that he is not the aggressor while the opponents are growling in pains. Can Dino be a goodbye? This season will soon open. Very, very interesting. At the back page of The Nation, Benga Motosho editorial notebook. And away from notebook, we meet Headball. Headball this morning writes on true color of a woman. True color, the true color of a woman, Headball. All right, I'll urge you to read this. It promises an interesting reading. The true color of a woman. And we're leaving down to meet Ripples. Atiku, I am back to reclaim what belongs to PDP. Okay, let's see the response. Okay, the Treasury. All right, that is that. The question still hanging in the air. As we made the last but not the least paper, it is the the New Telegraph. The New Telegraph this morning on the top there, you can see Gigedes Oshomele, like we read from the first paper. I'm not afraid of suspension. And let's see 4 stories here. And on that, the banner says President intervenes in board dispute. Go to page 5 and get the rest of the story. And then we have 4 stories in one line, beginning with that on Saraki. Saraki, why I didn't honor police summon. Go to page 35. Okay, and it's followed by Kari. NICOM sets 2 billion naira, 15 billion naira as underwriters' capital base. Go to page 2 and get these in details. Dangote donates 300 million to University of Ibadan. Go to page 35 and find out more on these donations from Dangote. And the next is on Buhari, the #1 citizen of Nigeria. President, 42 APC senators meet over defection. Go to page 7, find out where and why. Chapman House reports, Buhari's popularity will wane if he seeks re-election. Lists factors that will determine President PDP's fate in 2019. And he writes and says, Buhari's popularity may yet rebound if he is able to meet some of his manifesto promises, or it may slide further if he seeks re-election, having failed to make tangible progress in addressing the country's socio-economic and security challenges. All right, please continue that story on page 2. And stepping down away from there, we see 3 or 4 picture elements. Customs seizes 1.12 billion codeine cars, rice. You can see them all there showing in the pictures. As Customs seizes 1.12 codeine cars, rice. Continue that story on page 8. All right, and we meet yet again another interesting headline. Drama as Autumn Dams APC returns to PDP. Youth Black Government Convoy. A Youth Black Governors Convoy. APC no cause for alarm. Tambuwal to defect this week. Impeached Benue Speaker kicks. All right, very interesting reading. Go to page 4 for all of this. And last on the front page of this New Telegraph, we see UNICEF teenage girls bearing brunt of global AIDS epidemic. Go to page 36 and grab more on this very revelation. And let's go to the back page of the New Telegraph. On the back page, we meet on marbles. On marble, we hear from Will Rogers. Politics has become so expensive that it takes a lot of money even to be defeated. All right, that is from Will Rogers for us to chew over. Bribery. NFF committee recommends Salisu's sacking. On bribery, NFF committee recommends Salisu's sacking. Right. And away for that, we see the Saraki phenomena. Political musings from Ike Abonyi. We see Saraki there. Saraki the phenomena from political musings. Ike Abonyi writes this morning. And I'll read out a little bit of that already here. It says, twice in a space of 3 years, Saraki has shown that he is a senior boy in the game of politics in the country. He has shown that he was popularly groomed for all the inherent challenges in this business. Remember who his father is. All right, and that is there from Our newspaper this morning, especially the New Telegraph, will continue to urge you to read all of the copies, grab all of the copies or just one. Of course, we continue to say that there's no overdose to knowledge. The more we read, of course, the more informed we get. And when you discuss, you find out you'll be talking boldly, you'll not be talking based on rumors, or you'll not be talking because you just got that from rumor. When you read your papers, you'll be more informed, and also others will learn from you and you talk boldly. That's just a tip of the iceberg. Jot down, walk down, or drive down to your nearest vendor and grab all of the copies or just one. All right, we're now to take a break, and when we get back to it, I will keep you entertained with the documentary Shake the Dust. Shake the Dust, very interesting one. I want you to watch it. While you do, when we are back, we'll continue our discussion segment like we're going to continue with the topic of yesterday, the mass defection from APC to PDP. We hope you're going to be joining us then. Don't go away.
Stop breakfast show on TV.
Uganda.
When you grow up in a ghetto or a slum, you know, in a ghetto like Ugandan ghettos, people take drugs, people take cocaine, people take Myronji, you know that? They chew cud or something like that, a lot. And then when you grow up as a youth, you see very many people, right? Who can't give you good information, who can't do anything. They'll only feed you bad info. It's our everyday life. The same morning is like the same morning, so you only have to pray, and you get through all that. That's not the end of your life.
Wow!
Eric, what I know about him is a kind of person who first listens and he does something, you know. And he's a good, best ever friend of mine, and been along with him in a lot of things, hard, easy, and he's a person who always laugh. He likes laughing. He's a person who's always happy. Fahad is a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I knew Fahad in 2008 at Breakdance Project Uganda. He came and he was a new member. I was a good kid there. I had skills because since 2006 I'm there. So 2006, 2007, 2008 I was really good. I was the best kid that time. Then when Fahad came, he admired my style. He admired me. So he got inspired. I started teaching Fahad. He came to me and talked to me. How do you do it? Is it so hard? I want to learn. If I want to be good, if I want to be like you, how many years is it going to take me to be like you? Then I told him, if you love it and if you feel it, you'll do. You can even do it a week and you're better than me, or a month if you love what you do.
Neno sola sambira. Segera. Aha,
From my words, that's what he did. Fahad went to practice a lot. He did a lot. He inspired me too because his skills started to improve slowly by slowly. I really appreciated him so much for helping me, and in anything, he's my best friend. So he always like tell me this stuff to change myself. And then Fahad to become my really close friend, or my brother, was a time we all we're all dating the same girl.
I think we can give you a capoeira. So beatboxer and I can rap. Yeah, we can also rap. Yeah. 16 yards on the shot, you know we got it right. I'm new in the game, but you know we got the mic. I stay in town, yeah. Look at me, told ya I'm a nice guy, but you know I'm a
Cypher is it's a circle, In hip hop, it's a circle comprising of different people who are going against each other, showing who has the best moves.
I also want to thank Mark. Yeah, Mark has taught me very many things also. He has taught me how to teach kids, because teaching kids is where I earn money right now.
I will start with the basics. The basics have the basic top rock, simple to learn. Then you have what I call the basic drop, this one. You get down. Then here down we have the basic footwork move, which is called the 6-step.
The world is cold, the block is hot as a stove on the corners. I wish I could give this feeling. I wish I could give this feeling. On the corners.
I personally see lots and lots of hardships. I have actually grown up in lots of slums around Kampala. My dad died when I was 8 years. My mom died when I was in primary 7. I was 15 years by then. I had to look for lots of things: money, registration fees, school fees, food. Hip hop actually and breaking, they started because people had nothing that they owned. At that moment, Bronx was a very poor city, was a very poor town, was a slum, was so bad. And when it started there, people and most of the youth, they got something that they could own and nobody could take away from them.
We write songs about wrong, cause it's hard to see right. Look to the sky, hoping it will breathe life.
So Uganda, personally, I see it as a country like any other country. What most of the people outside there, they see it as maybe as a third world country, as people define it.
The world sees Africa as a place where people cannot do anything for themselves. But when I talk about the world, that is a lot of people who don't live in Africa, who don't live in developing countries. They usually show the starving kids, the wars, the unemployment, people begging all the time. But you know, this is a part of our reality. I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen. It does happen, but they also need to know that the real Africa is not only what they see on the mainstream media. I thought hip-hop was something that all of us can be a part of, something that can be a part of all of us. It doesn't belong to any of our traditional cultures, because the way hip-hop happened in the Bronx is not the way it has to happen here, because we're living in two different realities. The way it's going to happen in India, the Middle East, or anywhere around the world, it's going to be different.
The slums and ghettos of the world are often misunderstood. Only one story is told on the news and in the newspaper. Lands of famine and bloodshed, homes of terrorism. And when you grow up here, you begin to believe in lies.
Well, see, you have to understand, first of all, when you see a bunch of people with jambias, their hook knives, and Ali on their back, they're thinking terrorist. But when you're here, then you see a whole different side of, you know, they're beautiful people. And they're probably the most generous people on the planet.
Scratch beneath the surface of any news story, and you will always find something beautiful. You will find another side to history unfolding before your eyes.
In 1993, I was a victim of a drive-by shooting. Once I recovered from the shooting, I decided I need to get out of New York. So once I left New York, I came to Yemen. Hip-hop, in the beginning, it was fighting the power, letting your voice be heard, letting people understand about your struggles. I may not have what you have, but I can do what you can do. I did a song with a group of Somalians called SO Legion. They brought to me the attention of the refugee problem that's going on in the world. You know how they're kicked out of their homes and kicked out of their countries, and have nowhere to go.
My man AJ, Yemeni out of Bay. My blue flag like the sky when it's sunshine. In the middle, what's that I mean? I'm a free y'all. My people killing children down, nigga for what? Somali, Muslim Arabia. Kursi Dabara, Dulia, Kuhira, so juke like a white, so jeep like a hella Janada Adunka, African against Ka, Somalia. I know Lato, yeah.
On the streets and the dark corners of our neighborhoods is the cipher, the dance circle. It is here that you will find the beating heart of hip-hop.
Salí al Septimazo a mirar, a chequear, y había mucha gente sacando sus equipos, pero hacían otro género musical y no había nada de hip hop. Entonces yo teniendo los equipos, me dije, ¿por qué no sacarlos a ver qué pasa? Y desde ahí empezó la idea de sacar los equipos y hacer fiesta en la calle, para la gente y para que vieran que la cultura viva todavía existía y que está ahí viva y con mucho corazón.
Mi nombre es Rafael Castillo, soy de la ciudad de Cartagena y vivo en Bogotá porque me gusta mucho el breakdance y el hip hop, y Bogotá es la ciudad epicentro de hip hop de Colombia. En Cartagena es la ciudad con más pandillas de Colombia, tiene alrededor de 80 pandillas nomás en el barrio donde yo vivía, y yo empecé en un grupo de amigos que se fue volviendo una pandilla. Y empezábamos a consumir droga y a robar y a pelear. Y gracias al hip hop, cuando yo veía a los chicos que estaban bailando, yo prefería irme solo a verlos en vez de irme con mis amigos a la esquina a buscar peleas. Y para mí, mi vida gira en torno al hip hop y mi vida es hip hop. Es lo que me mantiene vivo, es lo que me da a mí las ganas de levantarme todos los días por la mañana y saber qué es lo que voy a hacer en ese día. Cuando yo estoy bailando, yo me siento que estoy solo en el universo. Yo me siento libre, se me olvidan todos mis problemas, que me hace ver una parte de mí que si no fuera por el baile no pudiera ver nunca.
Nosotros llegamos allí, ponemos nuestro piso, expresamos lo que sentimos, eso es lo que somos y eso no lo va a cambiar nadie, créeme. Y créeme que se siente uno lleno, se siente feliz, llegas contento, te vas contento, respiras, te sientes satisfecho, te levantas al día siguiente con la buena energía.
These kids love music. They love, being part of something different and rap and showing their voice, their life stories, to let people know where they came from or what they did. It's stronger than just telling people.
Nhưng mà break dance, nhưng mà khăn cái vậy em chơi chất hay nhưng slide cứ headspin, nhưng trong ấy sẽ không ai nâng, chứ nhưng tầm này là về mà headspin là những cái Việc đong đá bên đây đong thì chui chả cà rôm nó phơi từ bốn cứ bạch phù bên ta phù nó mình bên là dân phơi phim mấy nó dạo phim chụp mặt hài đó tôi phơi bạch phù bàn ta nhung mẹ đong tha mưa từ không tụi tôi chúng ta cái phơi bán chúng ta phơi bán bên ta tôi gọi với bạc bò còn bạn mua đôi gì cả kịch đay kịch chương lọt chim mà lọt ấy bên ta nhung mẹ đong tha nhưng mà đây khai kia đừng chấm thấy nhung chết to phù hôi.
No, tell Adam to the party is on. Welcome. This is so crazy. Fahad, are you going to? Wow. God bless you. You need prayer. This is the life. This is what means birthday. That's what means Are you really going to do it? You're going to finish it. If you believe in yourself in dancing, you can do it. If you believe yourself that you can eat, you can finish it. Today is 27th June and it's my birthday. I'm turning 20 years old and I'm wishing that I wish to be positive and inspiring a lot of people and traveling around the world, different communities, teaching breakdance and also life skills and leadership skills also. That's my biggest wish from my heart. I've heard your wish and good to hear your wish. So very inspiring. I wish the wish you've wished, God can grant you what you want in your life, right? So you as my friend, you inspire me so much. I learn more from you, I learn new ideas from you, I've met new friends from you, so continue being that. I love you so much, brother. Love you very much.
Hip-hop brings us together as a family. Why? Because I've experienced it with my brother Fahad. He's not my real brother, but I've experienced that with him.
Hip-hop, like, really brought me these friends, and these people are really so supportive. It's not just only people, but hip-hop has just brought them the love. Like, it's a family for me.
I'm Ugandan, I'm Kenyan, I'm Tanzanian. Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
You're very much welcome back. It is still your breakfast program, Good Morning Abia from MCL Television, and this is our discussion segment where we usually discuss important issues in the country. And this morning, like we said, we hinted earlier at the beginning, we are going to be continuing with the topic of yesterday, the mass defection from APC to PDP of 15 senators and 35 other members of the House of Representatives. And this morning we also heard that Autumn, the Benue State, Samuel Autumn, the Benue State Governor, has also defected, and he also promises to defect with 10 other lawmakers. And we ask, do we still anticipate more defection from APC to PDP? And when that, and if that happens, what do you think will become of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC? All right, to do justice to this very topic, I have right here with me the seasoned journalist, Substance Yusobio Eke. Sir, thank you for coming on the program once again.
Good morning. Happy viewer.
All right, while we await the arrival of the others, let's forge ahead. So, there's no gainsaying the fact that the faction that has loomed over the All Progressives Congress, the ruling party, has really unsettled a cross-section of Nigerians, and we have so many questions agitated in the minds of millions of Nigerians. And one of such questions is that, where do you think APC will go from here, given these rising cases of defection?
The APC is heading to a party that will soon be liquidated. Because in the coming weeks, there will be more defections, even among the governors. Because it was an amalgam of a people who came together but had no real focus of what they wanted. They came to just grab power from the former party, PDP. And it was made possible. The fact remains that the people that made it possible, the people who now took over government, does not want to recognize the input of those people that made it possible. APC's achievement of taking over power in Nigeria was made possible by the the NPDP, that splinter group that left PDP, the governors and others, including Atiku Abubakar and others. That are the people that made it possible for APC to win the elections. But when Buhari came to power, he, instead of doing the right thing, he decided to use clannishness, nepotism, tribalism, religious bigotry to put his people in power, where they now decide what happens. Other people have no say in the governance. They now see things in the prism of a one-sided setup issue. They are not seeing things on the national view of the nation. You could recall that the Senate President was one of the arrowheads that made it possible for APC to win this election. Asiwaju Tinubu, yes, did his own little contribution, but he failed to recognize that these other people were the talks. These NPD people were the talks that made it possible. And Tinubu became greedy. He wanted to have everything because he helped in fashioning of the APC amalgam of ACN, CPC and all that. He wanted to have everything for himself. He wanted to have who would be the Senate President. He wanted to have who is going to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives, only to himself. But alas, something happened. The people in the Parliament, in the National Assembly, decided to choose Bukola Saraki and Dogara, who Tinubu did not want to come in there. That is where the beginning of the thing started. Selfishness and greed. It was not for the overall interest of the people. The change mantra that was professed to us was just a mantra that was used to deceive Nigerians on lies and propaganda. We are going to do this, we are going to do this, Jonathan admission didn't do this, and all that. That was all was seen. But at the end of it all, Nigerians by now should know the level of killings that is going on. Autumn has left. Even to me, he left so late. I can't be in a party where you are killing my people. I'm in that party. And the government in power is there, and my people are being slaughtered. Nothing is being done.
Yes, and that begs the question: whether you think it's timely. Is this defection quite timely? You just said it is not. It isn't.
Yes,
he also have left long ago.
Yes, I could have come out and said, look, my people, this party that has kept here, we are in government and are killing people, I'm no longer part of it. And that's it. That's my kind of person. Even if it means my resigning, I'll resign. Because it shows that this party, this administration, does not care a hoot about life. Life is so cheap in this administration. Anybody can be killed anyhow. And what is the thing? A cow is greater than a human being. Cow, an ordinary cow, is greater than a human being. What sort of a society is this? Oh, all over the world, we are seen as barbarians. And our leaders lack shame. Recently, you can see what the new chairman they had, has come, is doing.
All right, so at this point, I want you to tell us whether you think, what do you think about PDP handling this? You know, some people have said that it's not just about giving a crown to a young man. It's about trying to find out if this young man will make good use of the crown you've bestowed upon him. Do you think PDP will, with these defections from APC to PDP, be able to handle this and turn it out for good?
Yes, I believe so. Why do I say so? I believe so because PDP has got the experience. They have learned their lessons over what led to their losing the last election in 2015. The imposition, the impunity, the lack of internal democracy.
Okay, so what makes you think they have learned their lessons?
Yes, you see, once beaten,
twice shy.
Twice shy. They can't come to make that same mistake they made before. So they are going, right now, they are going to allow every candidate that comes in, go out there and let people go and vote for you. If you win, fine, then everyone knows it was democratically done. The last APC convention, you remember when you asked me here in the last interview before this time, I told you it was a charade.
Yeah.
Because Oshomole in his first instance was not supposed to even contest. There had been petitions against him for corruption. And they got, because the president wanted him, he didn't tell the EFCC to go after him. Nobody kept, then even other candidates were forced to go away. They said, you know, it is only Oshomole we want. And now they can see it is an undertaker. He's going to be an undertaker for APC. For sure. He does not have the diplomacy, the negotiation ability and dialogue of saying, let's see how we can make things. Instead, he starts insulting people, abusing people. Is that how a leader does? That's not that.
Okay, sir, if I get you well, are you trying to say that PDP is going to do away, they have learned their lesson? They are going to do away totally with corruption, with impunity, or that they have learned a lesson of being clever with corruption?
They have learned a lesson of not allowing impunity to reign. There will be internal democracy. That's what I'm telling you. Because right now, all the people coming back, mind you, before, these were all PDP members. They were the people that helped APC to win it. Now they are coming back home. And everybody now said, look, we made mistakes. We will no longer allow this to happen. Let everybody go out there. Whoever wins, okay, we support him. And that is how democracy is supposed to be. But when you now decide to impose candidates, people will go off. People will react. And that is what is happening in APC. That imposition. That convention was a charade. There was no convention. The president and his cohorts wanted Oshomole to come. And that was why in the APC constitution it talks about when you come after saying who are in support, yes, then who are not in support, no. They only just say who are in support, yes, they know was not brought in. And that was why the RAPC went to court. The party is already factionalized and is going to die a natural death. I told you here that in 2019 there will be no Buhari administration. Mark what I have said.
Why do you say so?
I say so because one, Nigerians realize that this administration came on lies and propaganda. All the campaign promises they gave to us, none has been fulfilled. We talked about one naira to $1. There is none. We're 360 something to $1. We talked about food on our tables. There is no food. Go out there all over Nigeria. People are not eating. People are hungry. We talked about the petroleum. This thing is PDP petroleum. This thing was Goodmorning was 85 naira. When we come, it's going to be 50 naira. It is 145, and there is no refinery anywhere. The one he's trying to build, the one he wants to build in Katsina for his people and the Fulanis in Nigeria. That's another one. Then we're talking about corruption. He has not fought corruption. If you are fighting corruption, even if your own mother is corrupt, you send him to jail. But here, he only says, PDP stole. PDP is who are they? So those in PDP who came into APC, who stole? Their sense.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Then security, which is a primary job of governance.
All right.
He has not done anything. People are being slaughtered every day, and nothing is happening.
All right, thank you very much. That's hearing from Eusebio Substance AK on that. That will be talking about the mass defection from APC to PDP, where we saw 15 senators that have defected and also 36 from the National House of Reps. All right, and with that, we want you to join us on this discussion. Of course, many people are already calling. Do well to use that number on the screen. You already know the number. Call us and tell us what you think. Come up with your question or your suggestion. What do you think we should do? Okay, let's take this number one caller. Hello, good morning. All right, please go ahead and call. All right, while we await, okay, it's calling back. Hello, good morning. I pray we don't experience a network hitches this morning. All right. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in, sir.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan. I'm calling from.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Please, what's your take on the topic?
I want to ask a question.
All right, go ahead.
Now, you know that all these people that deflected from APC to PDP, they are formerly the people we know, which are the members of PDP. How are you going to be assured now that when we vote for them, when they get in that place now, they will not go back to their former life? They are doing beyond APC for the freedom. Thank you very much.
Did you hear what he said? Are we sure that they will not go back to their former life before APC took over the government? All those people from...
They will not. I said once bitten, twice shy. When you make mistakes, the essence of our life here, that is one of the problems of mankind, is to, while we are here, is to pass through experiences. And nobody wants to have an experience a second time. It's a natural law of life. You won't want to have an experience you had before. If you have it a second time, then you must be the worst fool. You know? So the PDP government, mind you, we are even looking at it on the issue of the platform of PDP alone. You know, there's a lot of collision. That's what we call realignment of political forces in Nigeria towards the 2019 elections. The PDP could even already have merged with other parties, about 38 other parties. You know about that?
Yes.
They have merged with even APC. The possibility that they might even, when the time comes, you will find out that they will all merge and consolidate to have one party. Even the one that Obasanjo is fronting, people will come because we have a common enemy to remove.
All right, so let's take this call again. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please lower the volume of your TV set. Lower the volume, please.
I'm already going.
All right, thank you very much. Please, your name and location.
I want to thank the...
Your name?
Yeah. My name is Fine.
All right, thank you, Fine.
I come from Abia.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
I want to thank you all the things you say. I love the things you talk, man.
Thank God.
So I want to greet you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lord.
All right, thank you. Excuse me. He just called to commend you, sir. He likes all you've been saying. All right, go ahead. Okay, let's take this call again. Hello, good morning. Hello? 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 All right, you were saying something, or were you done?
Yes, I was saying that they will not make those mistakes they made that led them to lose the last election.
Okay.
Yes, they will not.
All right. Hello, good morning. Hello? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I'm happy to hear the voice of Our Lady. Please, your name. All right. Okay, many people have said that the defection, she's calling back. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. Good morning. Your name, please. Hello? All right. Thank you very much.
I want to put your details that when people shouted APC before, they are putting out the house. Now, those people wanted to shout PDP to put APC out. So my problem is that the party problem is not the problem we have in this country. Let them allow the APC to place their game before they talk of another party. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You say that they should allow APC to be. All right, thank you very much. The callers, as we continue to expect more calls. Okay, there's another call. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling. Your name?
My name is Eba.
All right. From where?
From England.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. What do you have to say on the topic?
In fact, the fact that when they find the journalist they are sitting there by is very an intelligent man, but his brain is working just like mine. The way I'm seeing this concept, he says, I think to be trying everything just for the situation of the country. In fact, those people that are migrating from APC to DPC, I know they have married two husbands, at least they have known the paper one for now. But the only happiness I'm having on this, what are you calling it, migration or whatever you may call it, is that at least that is the one, the worry to know that we don't know where by 2019. The British administration continues to rule this country, we will die in hunger. Right now, we find this country answering in the day. So people are suffering. Let them just have one mind. As they come back to PDP now, let them use one mind. They fight back APC the way they fought PDP and win the election.
Thank you very much. All right, that's okay. He said that he hopes that those people who have, you heard all he said. Do you have anything to say to that?
No,
they have married two husbands and
but that's the truth. But that's why I'm saying that you are saying those who are coming back to PDP, will they not make the same mistakes? I say no. Even when a woman or a man marries two wives, the first one is not good. The second one you go, you will now know which one is a better one. So if a man, you find a way to make amends, you know what to do. And I can assure you, this.
And I think the second one goes, that means that the man doesn't know how to marry.
Fine. So it will show you now that this Nigeria will get better.
Okay.
Because we can no longer stay here and people are being slaughtered. The government is not doing anything. The government does not care. And let's be in the first place. Aisha Buhari told us from the beginning of time that a cabal has hijacked the government of this country.
The hyenas and the jackals.
Fine. She said it.
According to her.
Fine. Instead of somebody saying the president taking advice from that because it's a woman, that's the normal African way. That's a woman's talk. They just are, what they say, no, she's only good for the other side, the other room. And that is nonsense.
All right, let's take this call. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
We're doing well. Thank you for calling in.
I'm calling from 45 Forest Road. My name is Dr. Keke.
All right, thank you, sir, for calling in. What's your take on the topic?
My name is the young man that was speaking there. And I even want to direct him for the way that he made last that they are killing people every day. It's not every day, it's per minute. They are killing people. So the issue is that I thank you very much for the way that he's expressing and talking boldly. He wants something better in Nigeria. And most of us that are watching you people, we are thanking you and we are congratulating you and we are telling you to keep on. And if there is something open in Nigeria and something to express, I feel that this country will not be like this. And most of us, they are hiding something. When you see people that are doing bad, they cannot be able to express it. So I thank the young man, let him keep on and let him be working towards something better in Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for calling. All right. I just as the calls keep coming, the next question, sir, is many people have said that the defection, that the defectors, they are not defecting for the good of a cross-section of Nigerians, that they are doing so for stomach infrastructure. Before you answer that, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. I want to comment on the detection so far.
Thank you, sir. Please, may we know who is... May we know your name, sir? Your name, sir, please. Your name, sir. Hello? Hello? Your name. Please, when you call us, do well to let us know who we are talking to. That's quite the normal thing. You don't just come into somebody's house and start talking. Have to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're calling from, please, when next you call. Thank you very much. All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Your name and location, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Your name and location.
Thank you very much. I am Mr. calling from Goodmorning.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kechuku. What's your take this morning?
Thank you. I really appreciate what you are doing without saying. In fact, you are doing well. Yeah, I left someone always 63, and you are already 23. May God continue to bless you, sir. I see, I know that a day like this will come. And I have been waiting for a day like this to come, and I pray to God it has come. And the more is coming. This deception did not take us on our way. We know that APC, like the appellation from APC to AGN, GPC, AFP, coming together, forming a coalition to assess the PDP in 2014 to 2015 election. They don't have any manifesto to offer Nigeria. They do their manifesto on a lie, on a propaganda. So there is nothing APC can offer us. I thank God one of the callers said that when you marry two wives, you choose the best one. And we Nigerians, we the youth, we have seen the two wives. And it is in our right now, come to 2019, to make a good decision, to vote this propaganda party out of the power. Yes. So I urge every youth out there to go out there and get their PVC. Because the PVC is our power. If there is anybody there who have not gotten PVC, please go to various local governments or any place and make sure you get your PVC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We really hope the youth and everyone hearing will also comply. If you haven't gotten your PVC, do well and go and get it. Be able to vote on that day. All right. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
I gave him.
Please.
My brother, he gave in the dance.
Sir? Sir, your name and location, please. Your name, sir. All right, thank you, sir.
He's supposed to recognize me anytime when I call. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This is a unity pastor now. He said, welcome development. Yes. Because this God government. One side the government, Fulani government. So, Mama is better than human being. What are we to talk? Huh? This government, the nation, somebody will have money to what they do this. Because they were well better off. They have come together now. They will realize their former mistakes and correct it now. I believe they will correct it. If they want, they will correct it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ezeji. Thank you very much. I hope to recognize your voice and store it in my memory next time. All right, thank you very much, sir, for calling. I want to address this, that it is not for the good of the people, that they are just defected for their own personal good. Do you agree with that?
I disagree.
All right.
Because it's not, unless these, as far as I'm concerned, these people are patriotic Nigerians. In spite of what we have heard about them earlier. You see, at this time...
So, if they were patriotic, why did they defect from APC, from PDP to APC in the first place?
No, listen.
Okay, let's say, we're losing it.
At this point in time in our country, the country is on a brink. We need people to come out. Everybody should rally around. Both market women, everybody. I expected that by now in Nigeria, everybody should be on the road protesting. In other climes, that's what happens. You ask a government, you bring down a government, you tell the government to leave.
All right, let's take this call, sir. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello? Go ahead, sir. So in
other climes, you see, you bring down a government, the protest will bring down a government. Life is not worth anything in this country any longer. It's so cheap. Even the president himself acknowledged it. But the question is, having acknowledged, what has he done? That's one. Two, the country, you see, if you're talking about selfish interest or self-interest, as of now, what is most important is everybody's interest first, that this country will not go the way of Somalia, that this country will not go the way of Afghanistan, that this country will not go the way of Rwanda. And that's where we are heading to. It has started in the middle belt. If nothing is done, if we re-elect this government by 2019, it will come into Southeast and South-South. It's a reality. Let people stop pretending. It will also go to Southwest. And I do know that the people of Southwest are very intelligent people. If our people here do not want to see the handwriting on the wall, that if this administration is re-elected in 2019, what will happen in Nigeria will be something else. So this mass infection, like the other man said, people should go and get their PVCs. The problem we have in this part of the world, the Southeast, is that our Igbos do not realize the importance of the PVC. On that day, you see some people say, what concerns me, I want to go to my market. You fail to realize that the government, the power determines what happens to the market. Those of you who are selling now, are you selling? There is no business because the country is not in a good state.
All right, let's take this call, sir. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, your name and location.
My name is Zero.
All right, sir. Please lower the volume up. Sir, lower the volume of your TV set. Lower the volume.
Okay, I'm calling from Abia.
Okay.
The problem for this APC and the DEC is the problem of Buhari.
All right.
If you tell the system for Buhari side, if you tell a foreign country, this man is not supposed to rule Nigeria. And the man involved with Nama as a human being. If you tell a foreign country, they're supposed to treat this man. This man is a stupid man, not a president of Nigeria.
I am sorry, I have to shut this call because remember this platform, we always encourage you not to use this platform to insult anyone, verbal insults. Please do not do that. Do not insult the #1 citizen of Nigeria. At least he is our president and still remains so until your PVC, if you finally use it, if he's voted out. But for now, he is our president. You don't really have to insult him. It's very, very unacceptable. You don't insult me, the presenter, or even our guests. If anyone does that, remember there's what we call true color, which could be used to trace whoever makes a nasty call. Please, next time, don't do that. All right. Go ahead, sir. You were saying something about that. Okay, you talked about PVC, the use of the PVC. And I was going to ask you, do you think we are doing enough sensitization, you and I, about this PVC? But before you answer, let's see this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
I am Mr. Inyanye Mbakwe. I'm calling from Abia.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
The issue of the defection to me, hello? The issue of this defection to me, those people who have defected, they have not defected because they have the interest of Nigerians at heart. The issue is that their interests are not protected. And you know that when we are PDP people that went to APC, and the way things were done in the National Assembly when PDP was in power in terms of corruption, the money they were getting, they have not been getting such. And some of them, because of that, they were not actually with the present government. And what they did, they had to gang up. They are doing it in their interest because they know that if they remain in APC, maybe in their various seats, they will not be given tickets again. They want to go back to a party where they will negotiate, maybe where they will be given tickets in order to see if they could bring back PDP. And to the best of my knowledge, PDP cannot solve the problem of this country because the people in PDP and the people in APC, to me, they are still the same. So I think they have done that just for their selfish interest. I think when we are trying to discuss this, let us not be sentimental. Let us face the facts. And I also advise, in a thing like this, it's not only bringing sympathizers of PDP, because what I have seen, the man there is a sympathizer of the PDP. If you bring somebody from PDP, you bring somebody from APC, so that there will be a real analysis of the issue. I'm not bringing people from only one side, so that it cannot be one-sided. So that is my take on that issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, if you are a APC member, we would want to. I want you to visit us at the MCL television studio so you can represent your party. We do all well to invite all the parties involved. It's just that they weren't able to make it. Like yesterday, we had up to four guests right here. We also invited a man from APC. And we all know him, but he wasn't able to make it, so it's not our fault. So the man that has just spoken, if you are an APC man, please, let's see you here tomorrow in the morning. Thank you, sir. All right, good morning. All right, so I talked about sensitization of our people regarding the use of PVC. We keep talking about go and get your PVC. Do you think the country, we are doing all we need to do about sensitizing the people, even in the rural village, in the rural areas, about the use of the PVC?
Yes, I think the governor of this state, Dr. Victor Kezi-Bazo, gave the workers 2 days holiday off to go and get their PVCs. Because it's of importance. He realizes the importance of PVC. That's one. Two, the question is this. I want to draw it closer to where we come from. The Igbo race, where you and I come from. What really do we understand in this dynamism of politics in Nigeria? We don't. PVC is your inalienable right to decide who rules you and who does not rule you. That's number one. Two, PVC gives you an opportunity, okay, to, even if your candidate did not win, because you voted, you have the right to criticize the government that comes to power. Because once the person comes to power, he is now the governor of everyone or the president of everyone. But if you did not vote, you don't have that right. Because you didn't, your civic duties. So, but this part of the world, you'll find that some people say, it doesn't concern me. I will go and do my business. I'll be in area market. I'll be in my iron or whatever. Every citizen should go and get his PVC so as to be ready to cast your vote. A government, it is the inalienable right of every citizen. If an administration is not doing well, you wait for them after 4 years, you take them away. That is that. When you take them away, you have the right to get a new set of people who will come.
All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Akunia. I'm calling from Abia.
All right, thank you, Mr. Akunia, for calling in.
Yeah, my take on first of all, let me start with the issue of holidays of Tuesday and Wednesday that was mentioned for the creation of the PDC by Jerusalem.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, why did the traders not also involved? Because the market they were open yesterday and they couldn't say. So, and if they are carrying a PDC or selling them to go to the market and register, during that particular day of election, the market will be too far from them because they will not be any movement. So what we have done is that as you saw the market, the traders, want to go to work, head of Korea and bankers and the civil servants. The traders should also have been stopped, even if they did, so that they want to participate in the situation. All the things you are saying will say bounce back on the number we are going to show up during the election. This is number one. The number two, PDP people are non-related. I'm not a member of APC, and I'm not a member of PDP. I keep saying it. PDP is getting out of this manifestation. We don't learn. This is exactly what happened to PDP. They moved from PDP. Now they're moving from PDP from APC to APC. I will tell you the truth. It's for their personal interest, for their ticket. And nobody's looking at it. They're moving to the place, the other party has done. It's not true. And it's very unfortunate the way we are going right about that point today. And it's not good. We should all look at the way to stop it. Whether you are the one winning or the one losing, let's look at the way to stop it. When APC enjoying that, they were all debating. Today PDP is ready. That is my own take on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kunya. All right, you heard what he said. We'll find a way to stop it. All right. This issue of defections, don't you think the government... Okay, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello? Good morning. Please lower the volume of your TV set.
We are talking about Nigeria is not specific democracy. Because they may do election without PDC. There is demand. What happens at the state? Because to show somebody to get a PDC, it's a waste of time for the government. Because they are practicing corruption. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, we are hearing.
We are hearing you.
Yes, we are hearing you.
You are hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm talking about. Don't be used to government to force somebody to go and bring PDC. Because they have already done the election before the PDC. It's not the person that they will put here.
Hello?
That's what happens to the state. You will understand what I'm saying.
Hello? Please lower the volume of your TV set.
They are putting somebody to use the PVC. They are not using that PVC. They are using it to rig election.
All right.
That's only my contribution I have.
Thank you very much, sir. That noise was quite high at the background because he didn't reduce the volume of his television set, so it was making him to shout. So please, if you're calling us, do well to reduce the volume. It's good for us to hear you, not just for you to hear yourself. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling, sir.
My name is Mazi Ibanyo. calling from Anambra.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you very much. From Anambra. All right. Can you? Yes, we're happy to hear from Anambra this morning.
Okay.
Please.
So I'm trying to, for APC to return back to PDP, is it not to bring more problems? All the PDP that people are going to go to APC to return back to PDP. So if they're going to bring more corruption again, because that's not the corruption of APC. Now, they are going to do the right thing to do. The first one to put this away. The first one to return back to PDP. Okay, now, they're talking about PDP correct. In fact, PDP, the election has already, the election has already taken over. Now, okay, they're killing everywhere. Even now, tomorrow, 8 days, 2 seconds, they used to kill. And nobody's going to stop. And nobody's going to do anything. No food everywhere, no rice, no nothing, no good food. No nothing that's going to make you to be free happy, maybe in a number or something like that. So now, what about what to go for? Let everybody should go on its own way. So now they were talking about how they don't give us referendums or let them find about our freedom. Let's just be free and let these free and investment be on their own and let our people or other people be on our own and let us be. That is, we know how to do ourselves. And then
all right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Our brother from Anambra State, and because of time constraint, that's what we have on this topic this morning. Comrade Yusobia Substance AK, we really do appreciate your coming on the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's what we have on this program, this discussion segment on One Stop Breakfast program. Good morning, Abia from MCL Television. Remember, same time tomorrow, more interesting topic coming your way. From me, Cynthia HMA, I ask you to have a lovely day ahead. Up next, Unasalachi Umabia. Bye-bye.
MCL, the ward in your home.